In the Mafia, breaking these 3 rules in front of your boss doesn't just get you fired. It gets you eliminated. The fascinating part is that these same rules apply in every power structure, from corporate boardrooms to political offices. And most people break them every single day. Welcome back to Forbidden Wisdom. Today we're diving into the unspoken rules of hierarchy that separate those who rise from those who fall. The Mafia understood something about power dynamics that most people never learn. It's not just what you do that matters, it's what you never do. These 3 rules have kept people alive in the most dangerous organizations and elevated careers in the most competitive environments. Power structures, whether they're criminal families, corporations, or governments, all operate on the same fundamental principles. There are spoken rules that everyone knows, and then there are the unspoken ones that truly matter. The Mafia codified these because the stakes were life and death, but the psychology behind them is universal. Break these rules in any hierarchy, and you'll find yourself on the outside looking in. Let's break down the 3 cardinal sins that will destroy your standing with any boss, anywhere. Rule number 1. Never question their competence publicly. The first rule: never, ever question your boss's competence in front of others. In the Mafia, this was called disrespecting the Don. It didn't matter if the boss made a terrible decision. It didn't matter if everyone knew it was wrong. Questioning their judgment publicly was a death sentence. This rule exists because authority is largely psychological. The moment a boss's competence is questioned publicly, their power begins to erode. They know this instinctively, which is why they react so strongly to public challenges. In corporate life, you see this everywhere. The employee who says, "That strategy won't work," in the board meeting. The manager who corrects their director in front of the team. They think they're being helpful. They're actually committing career suicide. Bosses need to appear infallible to maintain control. When you question them publicly, you force them to choose between admitting weakness or crushing you. Guess which one they choose? Instead of speaking out publicly, save your concerns for private conversations. Frame them as questions, not challenges. Rule number 2. Never bypass the chain of command. The second rule: never go around your boss to their boss. In organized crime, this was called going over the capo's head. It violated the fundamental structure that kept the organization functioning. The punishment was swift and brutal. Hierarchies exist for a reason: control and accountability. When you bypass your immediate boss, you're essentially saying they're irrelevant. That makes you a threat to the entire system. The employee who emails the CEO directly with an idea. The consultant who builds relationships with senior leadership while ignoring their project manager. They think they're being proactive. They're actually painting a target on their back. Bosses hate this because it undermines their authority and makes them look weak to their superiors. Even if your idea is brilliant, you've just made an enemy of the person who controls your day-to-day life. Every boss needs to feel they add value to the chain. When you bypass them, you're implying they don't. That's a fundamental threat to their position and identity. Always involve your immediate boss in upward communication. Make them the hero of your ideas. My manager and I have been working on something we think you'd find interesting. Rule number 3. Never show divided loyalty. The third and most deadly rule: never show divided loyalty. In the Mafia, this meant you couldn't have friends in rival families, you couldn't pursue personal interests that conflicted with family business, and you certainly couldn't hedge your bets by building relationships with law enforcement. In the modern world, this shows up as playing politics with multiple factions, publicly praising your boss's rivals, or obviously networking your way out while still in your current role. Bosses need to know you're committed to their success. The moment they sense you're keeping your options open, you become a risk they need to manage rather than an asset they want to develop. Common mistakes people make: openly job hunting while in their current role, building stronger relationships with other departments than with their own team, speaking positively about competitors or rival approaches, maintaining obvious escape routes. Bosses invest in people they trust will be there for the long term. The moment you signal divided loyalty, that investment stops. You become expendable. Demonstrate commitment through your actions, not just your words. Defend your boss's decisions publicly, even if you disagree privately. Show that their success is your success. Here's what the Mafia understood that most people miss. These rules aren't about blind obedience. They're about power dynamics and human psychology. Every boss, whether they're running a crime family or a marketing department, has the same fundamental insecurities. Am I competent? Am I respected? Are my people loyal to me? These 3 rules directly address those insecurities. Break them, and you trigger their defensive instincts. Follow them, and you become someone they can trust and promote. Remember, you don't have to agree with everything your boss does. You just have to understand the game you're playing and play it intelligently. The Mafia's rules for dealing with bosses work because they're based on fundamental human psychology. Every person in power has the same basic needs: respect, control, and loyalty. Understanding these rules doesn't make you a sycophant, it makes you strategic. You can still influence decisions, pursue your goals, and build your career. You just do it in a way that builds your boss up rather than tears them down.